राज्य के कई जिलों के स्वास्थ्य केंद्रों में दवाइयों के निपटान से जुड़े मामले पर स्वास्थ्य मंत्री एम्प्रीन लिंडोह ने संवाददाताओं के सवालों का जवाब देते हुए बताई कि इस मामले पर जांच के लिए उन्होंने राज्य स्वास्थ्य निर्देशालय को एक एक्सपर्ट समिति गठित करने का निर्देश दिया है, जो यह पता लगाएगी कि यह सभी दवाइयां किस कारण और क्यों डिस्पोज किया गया और यह कौन सी दवाइयां थी जीवन रक्षक या सामान्य दवाइयां हैं, जबकि राज्य की गरीब जनता को स्वास्थ्य केंद्रों पर जरूरी दवाइयां अक्सर नहीं मिलता और उन्हें बाहर से खरीदना पड़ता है। वही स्वस्थ केंद्रों में दवाइयों को अवैध तरीके से निपटान करना जांच का विषय है और गठित समिति इसकी जांच करके एक रिपोर्ट सौंपेगी और इसमें जो दोषी पाया जाएगा उसके खिलाफ कार्रवाई की जाएगी। एम्पेरीन ने कहा, वर्टिकल बार मालूम हो कि एक रिपोर्ट में स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं के निदेशक ने कहा, कोविड-19 महामारी के चरम के दौरान उपयोग न होने के कारण दवाएं समाप्त हो गईं। एक्सपायर्ड दवाएं 29 जून को मार्टन डंपिंग ग्राउंड में फेंकी हुई पाई गईं। रिपोर्ट के मुताबिक फेंकी गई दवाइयां एक्सपायर्ड थीं।
Instituted a departmental inquiry into this matter. And that was why I was not in any hurry to respond to the queries put forward by the press. Now, many questions remain unanswered on this matter. Incinerators are the first option. Second option is, of course, digging pits like CHCs, PHCs, when there are huge consignments of medicines. That is what they actually do within their premises. Now, through the strengthening of health services scheme, we are also assigning additional fund to deal with this problem of disposal of medicines. So, before you even talk about the disposal of medicines, the DHS was mandated to actually form committees where pollution control board should be a member, where the drugs authority is a member, and the from the DHS office you have members. You're supposed to have a full indent of medicines. So we want to be open about this. Not the right thing to do. These errors should not be again repeated. Issue raised by NGO was whether or not it is an environmental hazard, and that dumping of medicine could, contaminate water sources, could contaminate all these matters. We need to take this very, very seriously. We should disallow. Now that it has been brought to my notice and that I have a full report available at my perusal, I feel that we have to set the record straight. I have told the MD of NHM to immediately form this committee, which is an authorized committee. One cannot imagine that medicines are lifted from the godown. Nobody knows who lifted them, when it was lifted. Municipal board is supposed to be the authority that actually is authorized, provided you have gotten your clearance from all of these other authorities. So this is not the first time something like this has happened. I have been informed that these matters reoccur again and again. We are going to get on the job. We have to take necessary action. We have to communicate very clearly to officials in the department that you are not permitted to do these things for various reasons. And once we have the inquiries ready, then I can again share with the public on the actions to be taken. And hopefully, we will set this right once and for all.
How much is the cost of these
These
medicines?
the information about cost and others is not at my I don't have access to the cost of these medicines and all that, but the very fact that consignments included medicines from 2019 onwards. So during the pandemic, CHCs, PHCs were not functional because there was this fear of COVID and fear of going to hospitals and other things. So please give me some time. I am inquiring. Let the inquiry report come before me. We do not want this to reoccur and repeat itself. It is a big error, and we will have to take necessary action. And the only thing is, I cannot quantify or discuss anything beyond that because it's still at a nasal stage of inquiry.
But we cannot blame COVID because those periods many pregnant women and children died without getting medicines. And doesn't mean that there is COVID, I cannot go to hospital. I was going to hospital, ABCD, for my
But
needs.
whether or
But
not,
who made this medicine kept pending there and to expire?
no. See, we cannot be unnecessarily dragging matters. It is a fact that medicines were disposed of. In
And it was not distributed.
It's not a question of medicines were not distributed. It was a question that stock in hand was not utilized for whatever purposes, for whatever reasons. It's not a question of isolating pregnant women alone who were not getting medicines, and you cannot disassociate the COVID pandemic also from this. Because there was this huge fear, and there is no, I am not privy to this information yet. How many of these medicines were meant for pregnant women? I don't even know that. Don't infer like that because you're sensationalizing this whole thing. Fact of the matter remains, it has been brought to my attention. We have to take action.
Don't you think that there should be independent because you're on your